reasons for defending Nnamdi Kanu, says Chinwike. Obiora Emmanuel Gibson Chinwike was one of the counsels to the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, during the early stage of his trial at the Federal High Court, Abuja. As events unfolded, when agents of the state were allegedly hounding him, he fled Nigeria for the United States. Narrating his relationship with the IPOB leader, Chinwike told Daily Sun why he joined the organization and maintained that he remained resolute to the struggle for the actualization of Biafra. What has been your experience since the Biafra struggle? He said, firstly, I practiced law in Abuja between 2009 and May 2016. I was born 40 years ago and an ardent supporter of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. I am equally a die-in-the-wool supporter of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's idea for secession from Nigeria for reasons every discerning Nigerian, whether Igbo and non-Igbo alike, should acknowledge. In this vein, I was among those who appeared to defend him at the early stage of his trials at the Federal High Court, Abuja, with Barrister Obita as our lead counsel. And thereafter, I started facing harassment from the Nigerian police and the Department of State Security, which prompted my running away from the country with my only daughter on May 19, 2016, to the United States of America to seek political asylum. My wife had before then left with my son on February 8, 2016 to the United States. Why did you join IPOB? He said, I joined IPOB on March 2015. The reason was that I perceived the organization to be a genuine platform to liberate my people from agony and perpetual suffering, oppression and marginalization. Nigeria has not been fair to the Igbos since after the end of the Civil War. The Civil War is still on, but the only difference is that there is no more staccato sounds of guns, shelling, mortar, grenades, etc. in Igbo land. But the policies in the government have been anti-Igbo, formulated to asphyxiate the race. So it was and it's still a divine call for me, just like God divinely called Moses to liberate his people, Israel, from the bondage and affliction of Pharaoh. What is your relationship with Nnamdi Kanu? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is my leader. He is the only genuine leader Biafrans have had since the demise of Chief Chukwumegu Ikemba Ojukwu. I fell in love with his ideology behind the actualization of Biafra when I started listening to Radio Biafra broadcast from London since 2013, which corroborated my experience. The truth of what my father told me about the Igbo stories and books that I have read, especially the cause of the Civil War in Nigeria that began in 1967 through 1970, and how my people were massacred and over 2 million Biafrans killed. We also have to be aware that Biafra is not just a group of persons that just came out of nowhere to start existing, but have been in existence for over 400 years, far before Nigeria was ever conceived. Although the first Republic of Biafra was first declared by the late Chief Odumegu Ojukwu in 1967. Have you had any bitter experience in this struggle? Yes, no struggle is sweet. The late Nelson Mandela passed through untold tribulations. Agents of the state have harassed me severally. The first was when we IPOB members organized a peaceful demonstration at Onitsha in Anambra State and in Aba, Abia State on December 2nd, 2015 and February 9, 2016 respectively, in conjunction with the coalition of some human rights organizations from the East, agitating from the Nigerian government the restoration of the sovereign state of the Republic of Biafra. We were attacked by heavily armed Nigerian military alongside the police, who threw tear gas canisters on us. They arrested and shot a lot of my brothers and sisters that very day. I was among those arrested and detained unjustly inside a military van for 2 days without food, leaving us to die inside. We were later taken to an unknown location outside Anambra State, where we were arrested. We were flogged on a daily basis to denounce our beliefs. zeal and passion for the movements of the actualization of the Republic of Biafra, and also to say detestable things against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our leader in the movement. One Nnadozie and I were forced to sign an undertaking that we will not associate ourselves in any way with any group or persons who in any way want or is already championing any secession group in Nigeria. I was released from detention on December 9th, 2015. Then on our next peaceful, non-violent protest in Aba on February 9, 2016, 2 hours into the protest, almost all the Nigerian security apparatuses were unleashed on IPOB members. Some people lost their lives to sporadic gunshots and the dehumanization from the Nigerian security, especially the military. I watched them point gun on peaceful people and shot them. At Aba, I was subjected to abuse, intimidation by the Nigerian security operatives. I was also molested by one Ahmed, according to what his colleagues called him, of the Nigerian army, who told me emphatically that that day will be my last on earth. He took our pictures after stripping us and threatened to make it go viral if we fail to cooperate. Wow. He told me to call my wife and my mother and say farewell to them, and also let them know that we will not see any more, because it will be either I die now or they take me to Kuje prison, Abuja, the following week without any trial. They refused taking our injured members to hospital, so many people were allowed to bleed to death in my very presence, and 7 people were shot to death the following morning. We were released after some human rights groups mounted pressure and raised the alarm on the unjust and illegal detention of some IPOB members by the military in an unknown location. If you read the Amnesty International reports on the military killing of Biafran agitators, these dates I mentioned were captured in the reports. In your view, how can IPOB be appeased? He said the Nigerian government has never been fair to the Igbo even before the declaration of Biafra in 1967. The Igbo have been suppressed and marginalized for decades. Even the blind knows that the Nigerian establishment run by the northern oligarchy is suppressing the Igbo in all ramifications. In addition, we are underrepresented in nearly all top government positions, thoroughly neglected by federal authorities, except in the quasi-confiscation of oil revenues. Igbo continues to be marginalized in all facets of the national polity. Nigeria is a very sick political enclave, deceiving people that know the price of everything but the value of none. So guys, we've heard from Chinwike is ordeal, with the army. But the question I always want to ask that people have not really answered correctly, when we talk about marginalization, it is not the marginalization. Is it the marginalization of the political elites in Nigeria or from the southeast? Or I don't just get it, because we really need to emphasize on a lot of these things. People who have been getting top appointments, from other regions, according to what people have been saying, according to what Chinwike said also, what has been happening to their people? We know, of course, there is this conspiracy of silence and conspiracy of whatever that is within both those within the political elite. But one thing that is pertinent and paramount is that people, the masses themselves, are marginalized. If you say we are marginalized, if they say the Igbos are marginalized, it is the same people, the leaders in the Igbos. When we talk of leaders, because they are the one representing at the federal level, when as far as government is concerned, the commissioners, the governors, the senators, the House of Representatives, they are the ones representing everyone at the center as far as Nigerian government is concerned. What are all those people doing? Those people are not in any way suffering anything. The little ones they are getting, how have they been able to manage with their people? That is the question, because all over the place, you talk about the Hausas too, they have been in power right from time immemorial. You talk about the Southwest too, the same thing. what has been happening to their people. That is where we are not differentiating all of these things. The masses all over the country are on the same page, but the politicians are on a different page. And that is why it is so difficult. As we always talk about the agitation of Biafra and all of that. The people who are not allowing this thing to work are the same people, like I said. Some people say, oh, who said that the Igbos are all those people are the leaders? They are the leaders because if they really want Biafra today, they will agitate better, because I've never heard any of them. You've never heard any of them on the Senate, on the floor of the Senate, to say, no, okay, these are the things that we want. Most especially, starting from referendum. They don't say anything. How do you expect the agitation for Biafra come to pass? It will not come to pass, because these are the same people who are benefiting. Do you want to tell me that those people are marginalized? How many of them came out with all this narration that this Chinwike gave? You can imagine a lot of people who don't even know what happened. They were just like, oh, these people are just trying to cause to destabilize the country. Oh, let us focus on one Nigeria, and yet nothing is working. In my opinion, I've been saying it. It is not compulsory. I don't know when it has become a crime that people should not want to succeed. They don't want to go their separate way if they feel marginalized. But what I'm saying is that the Igbo leaders who are the aim of affair, they are not ready for all of this, because if they are ready, you will hear them chanting all of these things on the floor of the Senate, just like the man that was clamoring for penalty for hate speech, that it has to be by death, by hanging or something. He's coming out to say, even as crude, as wicked as that policy or bill that he's trying to propose, as wicked as it is, he's still coming out. He has that boldness, not to talk of, okay, it is either yes or no, but let us know that you even try. You come on the floor of the Senate and say, okay, my people said they want secession, they want a referendum. How do we go about it? If you don't believe in it, but recognize their opinion, respect their opinion. These are the things that they want. Okay, how do we go about it? Then let us call for referendum. If it happens, fine. If it does not happen, they will know that, okay, it has been said on the floor of the Senate. But none of them will come out and say it. But somebody has boldness to come on the floor of the Senate. He presented it in the 8th Assembly, and it was knocked off. And the person is still coming back again. Do you know what it means to say somebody, you are talking about taking people's life because of hate speech? The guy has that audacity to come. Then why is it that people, the Southeast people cannot say these are the things that our people want? Because the same Biafran people who are agitating for Biafra, they are the ones these so-called politicians are representing. If you are representing your people and you don't even listen to what your people want, you have to listen to what they want, not what you want for them. Because what the politicians from the Southeast want is this presidency, and the people that they are leading say, we don't want that, we want to go our separate ways. Why can't they listen to them? If you listen to them, if you really love them, that you are there at that Senate or you are still governor, you are there because of the people, then you have to do the bidding of the people. Then who are you people leading? Are you leading yourselves? So that is why this thing is just somehow complicated. It is somehow complicated. I just feel that they need to really hammer on those Igbo leaders, those people who are government officials. They should start from there. But that is just by the wayside. But the torture that this guy went through, people who do not know what has been happening, at least with the explanation of this gentleman, you'll be able to understand better. But because some people are they've closed their minds, they don't want to listen to other people, they don't recognize, or they don't respect other people's opinion or their feelings. So they don't even want to listen. And that's why most times they don't even know what they are passing through. If you don't know what somebody is passing through, it will be difficult for you to understand that person. If you have closed your mind that no matter what you have gone through or you are going through or you are feeling, I don't want to listen, you will not listen. Even if the person is champion a good cause, you will not want to listen. And that is why it is good for everybody to be open-minded. Whether you talk about Biafra, you don't talk about Biafra, the situation you have now is enough for you to say, even this Nigeria, you don't even want it. So guys, that is just my own opinion concerning what this particular man has said. From the title of this thing, from the way he started, you would think, oh, it's just a mere thing, just supporting this thing. But when he narrated his ordeal, you know that there's fire on the mountain. It goes beyond all of these things that we've been seeing here and there. It's so pathetic. It's really pathetic. Why people say we want to succeed, we want to do this and that, and you say it is a taboo. How can it be a taboo that you are threatening somebody that they should stop the agitation? For what? Is it a crime to agitate? I've never seen this country. This country is something else. Honestly, it's really something else. So, guys, I'd like to hear from you, from the narration of this gentleman. Leave your comments below in the comment section. Thank you very much. Bye.